first of all, Ted, what is a scandal?
Oh, well, Schlatt. I don't have that definition on me, but I think Charlie looked it up.
I did earlier, but I forgot, and I'll do it again.
Oh,
He will do it
excellent.
again.
I will do it again. It's not a scandal yet. Okay. An action or event regarded as morally or legally wrong and causing general public outrage. So
I got a great
most
example.
of the things that Ted has gone on record and said and done on this show would be classified by, the Oxford English Dictionary as a scandal.
Pretty much everything I've done on this podcast could be classified by the government as a DEFCON 1 threat.
Code Black.
Yes, indeed.
A Code Black scandal.
But Schlatt, you were about to give a little example?
Yeah, the podcast.
Oh,
just in general.
No, the podcast.
We have been moving
Pretty
up
much
the ranks. How's this for a scandal? We've been moving up the ranks of the podcast world. Recently, who is it that we passed? Who did we pass
Ben
recently?
Shapiro. Hey,
Ben
if
Shapiro.
if any of you Shapirians are watching this right now, he's gone. He's gone. Why was he on the top of comedy anyway?
He was on the top of. He was not on comedy.
Okay.
Ben was not on
I don't
comedy.
know. I thought we passed him in comedy, and I was like, honestly, thank God. There's one more thing between Ben Shapiro and the #1 comedy spot.
we passed him on the top USA Top podcast. He was number 16, and I think we were like number 18 or something like that. We had just passed Schlatt's very good friend Obama, and who had he has a podcast for some reason with Bruce Springsteen. It's Bruce Springsteen and Obama talking about like America, I guess. Well, we passed them.
And people care less about that.
About the previous president of the free world and one of the
Bruce
most popular
fucking
musicians of all time. And they care about us fucking assholes just sitting here or standing here.
I'm the me.
Standing here. Look, I hope they use some podcast time to talk about that time Bruce got arrested for DUI recently. But they pardoned him because he was Bruce Springsteen.
Oh, that's an alert noise right there I'm hearing in the distance. Is that a scandal you're speaking of, Schlatt?
It is a bit of a scandal. I mean, I'm pretty sure the cop was like, hold on, you're driving drunk, but you're Bruce Springsteen.
I feel like that's...
Maybe you can do like an album about it. Anyway, get on your way.
Can you sign my police cruiser?
He just has a bucket of car paint with him. He's like, oh, I have this for my specific... If he's getting into a car drunk,
what
he's like,
the
give me my
fuck
car
are you
paint.
doing? Jambo!
What is Jambo doing?
Schlatts just looking around everywhere, so confused.
He's in between. He's in between the curtain and the window.
It's funny watching Schlatt be...
What is he standing on?
Now this is a scandal.
Get out of there, man!
He's standing on
Get
the edge
out!
of the window and the...
It's such a slim thing to stand on.
But speaking of this visual... This
keep going, just keep
visual
going,
problem that we're having with Schlatt. Scott, just mute him out while I talk. Speaking of this visual problem, I mean, in this case, I would normally say audio listeners love you to death, but...
And we do.
And we love you to death so much
We
that
do.
we got to the number 15 and number 15 US broadcast spot and the number 4 comedy podcast spot. Schlatt literally looks like an emo man right now. He got rid of his anime headband. But yeah, I mean, I suppose we should just start on some of these fucking celebrity scandals. What do you guys think?
Celebrity scandals. Schlatt, say something emo.
I wish you would step back from that ledge, my friend.
Whoa!
You could cut ties with all the lies you've been living in. And if you do not want to see me again, I will understand.
All right, that's enough emo.
Audio listeners,
Ted will
fuck you.
understand. By the way, we're both quitting the podcast. That's the way of releasing it. We're done.
good.
We're actually done with the podcast.
Oh yeah.
I'm just devastated with how
We're trying to
how
knock it
fucking
down a
annoying
couple
my
more
cat is
spots,
being this episode.
Yeah. Your cat always seems to have one thing that you need to yell at him about, and
Yeah, last week it was I caught him watching Ben And I told him, listen, bud, you're not going to have much more time if you
Ben?
Ben Shapiro.
Oh.
Yeah.
No.
Yes,
no.
and I was like, and then I was like, okay, we have to beat Ben, which is why half of what the podcast is now is just us talking about how good the podcast is.
I've noticed that maybe you guys should stop bringing it up in the charts, because every time we actually move a spot, it's all we talk about for an hour. And then it leads to us gaining or
we lose a spot
gaining
every
another
time.
spot, and then we just talk about that. So for the love of God, I know it's been going downhill since the beginning. Just make it stop.
Yeah,
Please.
It's going downhill, but the gravity's been reversed. I also think that we should probably not even talk about it, because we need the advantage of being the underdogs here. All right, even if we're at the top of our game, we got to pretend that we're underdogs. That way, we can bring the people on our side.
What's Bruce Springsteen? How do I use a computer?
Yeah,
exactly.
Who is Bruce Springsteen? I don't know a dang thing.
See? We're just three charming pieces of a sandwich. We
Oh,
don't know. How did we get here?
DUIs?
This is so crazy. Oh my gosh, this is so crazy.
I love driving under the
This
influence.
is like iCarly. We're like iCarly.
But you guys want to hop into these celebrity
I'm gonna
things
get
now,
a
though?
DUI. Yeah,
let's get into the scandals, Ted. Come on.
All right. So this one, I think that Schlatt will really enjoy.
Come on, Ted, put him up. Let's get into the scandal.
I think that this one Schlatt will really, really enjoy. I found a lot of these from Reddit. But there's a bunch of posts on Reddit, and they're like, "What's the most ridiculous sort of celebrity scandal that's happened that you're aware of?" And there's this one musician, Sinead O'Connor, and she angered millions during her performance on Saturday Night Live, in which she tore up a photo of the Pope on live television.
Why? Wait, was it Francis or Benedict? This matters.
I've got the Wikipedia page up here. This was on October 1992, so I'm sure it was Benedict.
It was Benedict. It was Benedict.
But she sang an a cappella version of Bob Marley's War, which she intended as a protest against that sexual abuse thing with children in the Catholic Church, referring to child abuse rather than racism. And then she presented a photo of Pope John Paul II to the camera while singing the word evil, after which she tore the photo into pieces, said, "Fight the real enemy," and threw the pieces towards the camera.
I reckon Schlatt could do that.
I'll do it with this guy. Where did he go?
What?
Did he
The
hear
fucking
us?
cat knocked him down.
That was really great. For our audio listeners, love you to death. The Schlatt has a thing of Pope Francis in the background, and as we literally turned our attention to it, it had disappeared.
I'm going to have an aneurysm and die live.
Hey,
Live on
wait,
the
guys!
podcast.
This is a scandal. Your
I'm gonna
cat just did that to Pope Francis.
To the Pope, bud.
To the Pope.
What's the fucking issue?
Shampoo!
Oh
God,
my
come on
God.
up. God wants to see you.
He's the number one
Jeez,
direction
man.
to God. He's the Pope.
Jeez.
Doesn't the Pope speak directly to Jesus or?
No, the Pope speaks Italian.
Oh.
Which is a little higher. And next thing you know, if your cat keeps doing that, dude, eventually he's going to end up on SNL and there's going to be no saving him.
Oh my God. Dude, what's going to happen when my cat gets on SNL?
I don't know.
Apparently, though, the Saturday Night Live as a company, they had no foreknowledge.
What the fuck?
Francis, no!
Oh my goodness.
That's I might have to do the rest of this podcast sitting down, guys. My blood pressure is rising.
And Pope Francis is falling.
My blood pressure is rising.
Hey, Francis, calm down.
There it goes.
That is so funny.
Jambo's letting his opinions of the church be very well known. If anything, I think Jambo relates heavily to Sinead O'Connor on ripping up photos of the Pope. He's trying to knock down the life-size cardboard cutout Pope
Jimbo's
Francis.
gonna get a DUI.
Oh my God.
But apparently, for this ripping up of the Pope thing, Saturday Night Live had no foreknowledge of the plan. And during the dress rehearsal, she like held up a photo of a refugee child, and then they switched it out later.
A little bait and switch.
And it says here on Wikipedia, NBC Vice President of Late Night, Rick Ludwin, recalled that when he saw O'Connor's action, he literally jumped out of his chair. SNL writer Paul Rappel recalled personnel in the control booth discussed the cameras cutting away. The audience was completely silent with no booing or applause. Executive producer Lorne Michaels recalled that the air went out of the studio. He ordered that the applause sign not be used.
On SNL, that's a big deal.
Yeah.
Can you
They
imagine?
need people to laugh. SNL's been having... Maybe this marked the downfall of the show.
Right here.
You ever
And then
think
it
about
ended
that?
with Elon Musk coming on as Wario.
Maybe Pope
I
John
saw-
Paul II
okay, I heard something
put a
about
little
that.
hex on the show, and then it ended up, 3 decades later, now we got Elon Musk